found this secret place. Iko na duckweed. Look, free duckweed. Free duckweed. Na niko barabara tu. I had come here to pick some duckweed for my pond, and then I noticed there are so many fish fries inside this pond. I don't know what type of fish, but there were so many fish fries. I think there's someone who has a pond up somewhere along this river and they escaped into the river. Nimepata di crab. Nimepata di crab. Hii ni crab ama ni nini? What the hell? This is not a crab, this is a water scorpion. It's a predator. And I don't want predators in my pond, so I had to get rid of it. I threw it back to the river. I have to carefully select what I'm taking to the pond because I don't want to carry predators. And I noticed there are so many leeches in this water, so I'm being careful. Fish. Twingi, man. I got so many fish fries. I don't know which type of fish this is. I'm waiting for them to grow. But I didn't add them to the main pond. I just put them in a partial pond, a small partial pond. My pond already had azolla, but azolla wasn't doing good. At first it was doing good, it was multiplying. Okay, it was green until it started turning red. I don't know why. But then after I introduced the duckweed was doing really good and it was taking over. It was overtaking the azolla. There I was still picking some from the pond and feeding to the chicken. Though I won't regret if the azolla completely disappears from the pond and remains only duckweed, because duckweed, my chicken enjoys duckweed more than azolla. And secondly, duckweed is easier to maintain, unlike azolla, because azolla you have to buy shade nets like 50% and then the right amount of nutrients. Because there's a time it started turning red, and then I introduced chicken manure into the pond in a sack. It started turning green, back to green again, healthy. And then I removed the sack because I feared ammonia, because of the fish. And then it started turning red again. The duckweed is always green and doing good no matter the condition. Now several days later, see this fish. Look at the condition of the skin of this fish. This is terrible. And this is due to poor water quality. So it came to a day I was supposed to change water, and then I went to check the water level in the tanks. I found the water was very, very low, so I asked the guy who supplies us with the water what's the problem. And it took him like 4 days to tell me that the pump is broken and he doesn't have the money to fix. So I had to buy water from the lorry guys, which is 3,500 for 5,000 liters. Well, I waited to get cash 25,000 to fix water from the other supplier, to connect water from the other supplier, who charges 200 per cash 200 per 1 unit, which 1 unit is 1,000 liters. So 5,000 liters times 5 times 200, 5 units times 200, that is 1,000. So you see, 1,000, that is 5,000 liters. But the lorry, 5,000 liters is 3,500. Now since I have water, it's been like around 7-8 days since I was supposed to change the water in the pond. So now I'm doing major water change, around 70-80% water change. So I removed all the plants from the water lesut, water hyacinth, and duckweed, azolla, all of it, and then drained the water from the pond using small aquarium pumps. One is 8 watts and then the other one is 16 watts. So most of the tilapias were affected during that period. There was like 8-9 days of water not being changed. So the only tilapias were affected. I don't know why, because they are koi, goldfish inside that pond and tilapias. But only tilapias were affected because of the poor water quality. I think their skin is different from the koi and the goldfish. I think koi and goldfish, they are hardy, and like tilapia. So like every day, during that nine period of those 9 days, I was picking around 10 to 20 dead fish per day. While I was removing the plants, I was surprised to find so many different species of insects inside that water, inside the pond. So many different species, including uh, dragonfly nymph. I also found fish fries inside the pond, which they must be for the tilapias, because tilapia is the only one who reach maturity at around 3 to 4 months old. Because koi and goldfish, I think it's around 1 year for them to get to maturity, but the tilapia is around 3 to 4 months old. And I think the tilapias are now around 3 months, because I bought them when they were 1 month old, and I've been with them for like 2 months. So the the fish fries must be for the tilapias. Just enjoying the view while I wait for the water to drain to the level that I want. Water hyacinth multiplies very fast, at a very fast rate, unlike water lacewut. But still, water lacewut multiplies fast, but water hyacinth, it multiplies like incredibly fast, like 2 times faster than water lacewut. Or maybe it's because the fish are eating the water lacewut more. Now that we have drained around 80% of the water, let's fill it up with fresh water. The two small aquarium pumps I mentioned earlier, the ones that I used to circulate the water in the pond for providing fish with the oxygen, the 8 watts and the 16 watts. So the 16 watts, it feeds the bug filter, and the 8 watts feeds the waterfall. I trimmed roots of a few water lacewut and a few water hyacinth, and threw them back into the pond. The rest I'm going to feed them to the chicken, plus the duckweed and the azolla. I want everything to start growing afresh. This is a dragonfly nymph, either dragonfly nymph or a damselfly nymph, either of them. But the way it's big, I think it's a dragonfly nymph. So yes, the duckweed and the water lacewut and water hyacinth that I fed to the chicken. And I told you the chicken love duckweed more than azolla. Azolla is overrated. Duckweed best. Please let me know what breed this chicken is in the comments. And also, if you're liking or enjoying this type of content, you can like and subscribe so that you can get to see more. These brown ones are layers. They only lay eggs. But for now they are chicks. I think they are like 4 or 5 months old now. All these plants came from only one water lesut, one water hyacinth, and 1 kg of azolla, and less than 1 kg of duckweed. And they've been feeding the chicken for like 2 months, and you can see how many they are. Never thought the chicken will have these aquatic plants until one day I accidentally gave them the water suit. I was picking azolla for them, and then I accidentally threw water suit with azolla into the chicken coop, and then they picked the water suit. They were chasing each other around, trying to snatch from from the one who has the water suit. They ate it all until only the roots were remaining. I was so excited. So ever since I started giving them water suit, sometimes water hyacinth, and they loved it. You can see the way she's eating that water suit. That is water hyacinth. The pond is now full again. This is the new look of our pond without plants. Okay, without many plants. Of course it has plants. In 2 months, this pond will be filled with plants on the surface, and I'm talking through experience. And I will prove it to you in 2 months, because I've seen how fast these plants are growing, these aquatic plants, the duckweed, the azolla, the water suit, and the water hyacinth. These are the only remaining plants. Since I changed the water, I haven't found any dead fish yet. They are all healthy. And now that I have learnt a lesson, I'll be keen on water quality and water changes.